Listen, I bought some yarn, okay? I bought some yarn. I finished my market season and I still want to do it next year, and I ran out of bulky weight yarn. So I'm going to share with you from 2 companies that I purchased from, as well as a cute little yarn store that I stumbled across. And well, really, it's the yarn store I didn't know I needed. Want to see what I got? Hi everyone, my name is Diane and this is my pink bathtub. There are no pink bathtubs here, but I used to own one and I didn't quite like it, hence the name. I don't expect you to make sense of it either. I'm coming to you from the center of Canada in the province of Manitoba, and it is mid-November and we have no snow on the ground whatsoever. It's been beautifully warm and I'm trying to take advantage of it and do things until the snow hits, because once it does, I mean, this is all I'm going to be doing all winter. This right here. Before we get into the yarn portion of the show, I just want to share with you that I finished a pair of socks, a whole pair. I'm talking like 2. I finished this last month for our sock-a-long. I'm doing a sock-a-long with my friend Alice from Sox-a-Long Alice. And because I was doing market knitting, I have not been very good at making socks the last couple of months, but I did get this one done. Now, this is yarn from Polkadot Creek. It was my advent that I opened last year, the Scary Apothecary Advent, which was a Halloween advent, and it came with 10-gram minis in it. And I split it in half. I gave half of it to Alice and I kept half. And then I just used a random black fingering weight yarn I had in my stash for the heels, toes, and cuffs. This is the vanilla sock pattern on DPNs by the Crazy Sock Lady, my go-to. And yeah, you can see that I use 5 different minis in here, split them in half. And last night I finished the second one. Now, some people do multiple pairs of socks in a month, but this is an achievement for me this time of year. I am also working on my Anthology throw. I've started the second color for November. I have 1152 or 1154 stitches on the cord now. So essentially this is just 4 rounds in this color. But this is how it's looking, and next month I have 2 left and I am done this blanket, and I have to tell you I cannot wait for my blanket for 2026, but you won't see that until January. And I wanted to share with you something that I keep meaning to tell you and I keep forgetting to tell you. If you have been a viewer of the channel for some time, you'll know that I made a couple of car seat baby blankets for a couple of newborns this year. This is what it looks like, and it is a pattern from Maxim. And essentially, there is a slit in the blanket so you can put a car seat buckle through it. Well, I made the first one for a family member, and she came back and told me, I don't know how to use this blanket. I thought it was like pretty simple, but I don't know nothing about any baby gear stuff nowadays. Well, ever. I haven't had kids. But I remember baby car seat buckles and the straps going over your head and just the single thing that you snap into. Well, now I think it's like a 5-buckle system and there's things coming on the side and all this stuff. Well, it didn't line up. So I asked for the blanket back and I essentially just closed in the seam for her, and luckily I knew this information prior to giving the gift for my market friend during markets. He came and I gave him a gift for his baby, so I closed up his blanket too. So it's a beautiful pattern, as you can see. However, if you're going to make it, don't put the slit in it. you've been warned. So that's what I'm working on right now. And in between my 2 markets, I had 3 weeks to get more stock ready. So essentially, I wasn't really living any sort of normal life. I was living in my pajamas a lot. I was knitting a lot. I was watching a lot of bad TV. And I was knitting extra mittens for my second market that just finished last weekend. Hubs had to go to Winkler, Manitoba to pick up something. I mean, I do listen, but I wasn't. I think it was something for the generator, oil or something. Anyways, he's like, get yourself showered, put in some fresh clothes, comb your hair. I'm taking you out. You can bring your knitting in the car, but you need to get outside. And he was right. I was spending way too much time at home. So we went on a little trip to Winkler, Manitoba, which is, I don't know, an hour and a bit from where I live. It is in Southern Manitoba. And whenever I go anywhere, I always put the name of the town and I put yarn store in my Google search. And surprisingly, a result came up. Now, I was in Southern Manitoba in Morden, which is like 15 minutes from Winkler, 2 summers ago with my friend Dude, and this shop did not exist then. He was totally fine with us going, and I have to tell you, this shop is so cute. I had to share it with you all. It is called the Little Yarn Barn. She is on Instagram. I will link her below. She doesn't have any sort of a website set up right now to sell her products or to do shipping, but she is part of that local community. And the kicker is she's a crocheter. She's a crocheter who owns a yarn store. And she is learning how to knit, but she is obviously welcoming to both types of fiber arts. I have to tell you, I did not know what to expect. I sort of perused her Instagram a little bit. I messaged her to ask her if she would be open, because you never know with small towns. And I told her that I had a YouTube channel and would it be okay if I could do some videoing, and she was all down for that. She didn't want to be on camera, and I respect that. So let me show you this charming, charming shop. I am glad I do not live within 20 minutes of this shop because I would be broke. Isn't it adorable? She had everything there. Commercial-based yarn. She had local hand-dyed yarn. She had local makers that sold things like, oh, everything. Candles. She had Hobie yarn, Estelle yarn, regular box store acrylic yarn. She had Koigu. I tell you, she had everything. She had knitting supplies. She had crochet supplies. She had embroidery stuff. Fiber to spin. Everything. And her store was so charming. Hubs came in with me, and after we left, he said to me, that's like the cutest yarn shop I've ever seen. And I was like, I agree. There was even a foster kitten in the shop that she was taking care of. I mean, there was something for everyone in this shop. So I had to buy something. I took money out of my market money that I made, and I bought something. I know, I can hear you screaming right now. I thought you weren't going to buy any more yarn. I mean, guys, it is hard. It is hard not to buy yarn. It is. But I was just up in my yarn room before I started filming this, and I have a lot of yarn. I do. And I am going to take a break. Take a break because I do have my Advent December month coming very shortly. Anyways, let's see what I bought. She had some sweatshirts and t-shirts there, and Hub said, I'll buy you a t-shirt. I'm like, okay. He gave me $40, and he walked around and looked a little bit, and then he's like, I'll wait for you in the truck. Take your time. I was in there for quite a while. And the first thing I bought was this cute shirt with her logo. Don't tell anybody this, but the t-shirt was only $25 and I didn't give him any change back. She also had some Universal yarn there, and I've never bought Universal yarn. I kept going back to something that I was kind of surprised that I was really into because it is a bulky weight 6 yarn. And it's a 60% acrylic, 40% wool. And this is what it is. And I think I'm going to make myself like an owl or some sort of a doorstop. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or sell it, but I want to try it. Bee Wool Maltese. I just really liked it. It was very autumnish, autumnal, fall-like. So I got this. I mean, did I need it? No. Did I want it? Yes. And I saw some yarn there from Smash Knits, and I don't know, can't pass up Smash Knits. I got one hank because that was all they had of this DK weight yarn. This is called Antiqued. And I was just upstairs looking at my DK weights, and I was kind of putting them together to see if I can make some sort of a sweater out of them. So I have a lot of neutrals, and this was fairly neutral with a little bit of kind of a peach color going through it. So I got that. And I bought something I've always wanted and I've never bought, and that is a Koigu paint can. What is in here is 5 20-gram minis. Comes with a little washer that I believe you can use to open the lid. Let's look. Yeah, so with the t-shirt, I had enough cash with the change I didn't give back to Hubs and the $100 I came with, and I bought this stuff for myself, and I'm not upset about it at all. I got to support a local business. These are the colors. No, don't know what I'm making with this. And yes, I have a problem. This colorway is called Granola. Very pretty. Now these are the KPPPM ones. I don't believe have any nylon in them. They're hand painted. Friends, I would highly recommend you go check out this adorable shop. It has only been opened a year. She is relatively new to Winkler herself. Her name is Raylan. She has a young family, and she's a crocheter wanting to learn how to knit. And I was pleasantly surprised of the outcome of that little road trip. So what else did I get? Well, I use bulky weight yarn to make mittens at my markets for adult size. I use the Bella's pattern, which I adapt to a shorter cuff. And I like using acrylic wool-based yarn. However, some people also request just acrylic because they have an aversion to wool. And that yarn in particular, I've really been knitting down my stash. The yarn that I usually like is pretty much all discontinued, which is a bit of a problem for me. And I thought, well, I'm going to at least do one more year of markets. What am I going to use as an alternative? Now, I found Wool Warehouse. Wool Warehouse is a UK company. Okay, I live in Canada, so we're still able to receive their yarn purchases without a lot of trouble or any sort of additional duties or tax or tariffs or anything. And I had made a purchase prior to my markets to try some of their yarn because their yarn particularly is new to me. I don't really know what it's like. I did get some of this yarn in my first package, which is fantastic. Signet is the brand. It doesn't say it on the actual label, but it's 80% acrylic, 15 wool, 5% viscose, and this makes a mean rainbow chicken mitten. So I bought 6 of them. I had used one up, have a little bit left. I'm thinking probably every 4th pair that I knit with a full ball, I'll have enough leftovers to make a 5th pair. I got 3 more of these. I like this yarn so much that I went back to see what other colors they have because it really does knit up beautifully and it's quite soft. So I got this dark black one with tweed as well. And this is called Charcoal. I got 3 of these and they're going to make great kitten mittens. And then last time I bought a gray tweed, but I found that they have it as well in this brand, which I preferred using. And this one is called Flint, and I got 3 more of these. Then I'm at the point of my mitten making journey that I don't really have any sort of yarn that I like for piggy mittens. Now, I do have a little bit left of Hue and Me yarn, but it's very thick for a 5-weight, and I don't really like working with it. So I was looking for an alternative in a nice pink, not a bright pink, more of a paler pink. And I came across this chunky tweed King Cole yarn, which also has wool in it, 25% wool, 72% premium acrylic, 3% viscose. It has the right amount of yardage. I usually look for something with 138 meters, 150 yards, so this was right up my alley. And I bought 3 of these to make more piggy mittens. And this was my Wool Warehouse order. I highly recommend them. This is only my 2nd time I've ever bought from them. They sell a lot of drops yarn. And if you go into just their clearance section, you can find some really good deals. Essentially, you times it by 2 to get the Canadian amount. And they have a $4.99 flat rate shipping through Royal Mail. And then when it lands in Canada, Canada Post just kind of picks it up and brings it along to you. And I've done 2 orders. They've both been around the $80 Canadian mark, and I've had no issue with any additional taxes or duties or anything coming from them. So I would highly recommend. I'm good now. I'm good for my market supplies. I just need to stay off the internet and not make any more purchases. But I didn't stay off the internet. And I have one other place that I just recently discovered is a Canadian yarn store in Barrie, Ontario that ships yarn. So I'm like, yeah, you spend $125, you get free shipping. And if you know me, I don't like to pay for shipping. So that's how much I spent. Really feeling the tweed yarns for my mittens. And I was also looking for some more tweed bulky weight, or in the UK they call it chunky weight yarn, for either chicken mittens or maybe a doggy, I don't know. So I found these 3 colors, which all have some tweed in them, and they are from Hayfield Bonus Chunky Tweed. It is 100% acrylic, and I do have a lot of people asking for acrylic mittens. 137 yards, 150 meters, right up my alley. These 2 are definitely going to be chickens. This one might become a doggy. So I bought 3 balls of each of those for my market knitting. Now, the other thing I bought to make it free shipping. Free shipping is key. I bought this stuff. I want to bring back the sock monkey, and I do have a lot of yarn in worsted weight to knit the sock monkey. Now that's kind of one of the first toys that I made, and I feel like they're very vintage and classic. So I found this yarn, which is a fingering weight wool on their website, Lang Yarns Superwash. So the cream, the red, and then 2 shades of gray. These are 50 grams, 210 meters each. I want to make the regular size sock monkey, but I have quite a few keychains that I would like to make some sort of a keychain, a smaller little takeaway item on my table. Either a little round head with the sock monkey face. I don't think I'm going to do a whole body because that seems like that would be a lot of work. But I want to do something with the smaller yarn. And I did have some that was from the kit, from the bag, from Ginger Snap Yarns. Went on their website, they didn't have any extra of those little minis. So when I saw this, I thought, yeah, get it. Even if you hold 2 strands together to make it a little thicker, I'm going to experiment and make something like that. The other thing I want to make is I have some brown yarn. I have an unhealthy amount of brown yarn, in fact, in acrylic. I don't know why I have so much brown yarn, but I mean, it's like chocolate brown, but some people might call it a different kind of brown. However, I think it would be super cute to make a whole bunch of Dachshund puppy stuff, because my niece and her partner have 2 of them. Let's just call them wiener dogs for short. I have a cute pattern that I purchased that I want to try and make. The only reason why I haven't been making it is it's not knit in the round and you have to do a lot of sewing up, but I'm willing to give it a go in January, as well as a pattern for a scarf I had purchased a long time ago. And then I have another pattern of a little dog wearing a hot dog bun. And so that is my extra additions for next year's market. Sock monkey stuff and the Dachshund stuff. Dachshund wiener dog. You know what I'm saying. I'm so stoked. I have a fire in my belly now to knit for market. So going forward, I am going to be always making one item for me. I'm determined to work with the beautiful yarn that I bought, as well as always have something on the go for my markets. And then I'm going to be doing a blanket all year long, like I have with my Anthology throw, which is almost done. The other thing I bought for myself as a treat was this book, Seamless Knit Sweaters in 2 weeks. I don't know if I can do a sweater in 2 weeks if I have all this other stuff I want to make. However, my friend Kelly from Lockbriar Knits showed this a long time ago on her channel. She always had such beautiful, simple, classic sweaters that she wears, and there's quite a few in here. Now, I did take a quick peruse through this book, and a lot of the yarn is either DK weight or worsted weight, and I have a bucket full of Patton's Classic Merino yarn, 100% wool, worsted weight yarn. I've got quite a few that would be sweater quantities in various colors. So I'm going to try one of these in the book. I have way too many patterns and not enough time that I want to try. I'm going to do my best. It's going to be a very low buy year in 2026 and a very high creating year for me. And that's my goal. I don't want to call it a no buy because I know I'm not going to be able to do that, but let's see how long I can do it. Last year I lasted until April. I feel like I can do better than that this year. Stop laughing. Next time, we're going to talk about Advents. To Advent or not to Advent? That is the question, and I will give you my answer, and you probably already know what it is. We're going to go through the Advents that I purchased for this year. It's probably going to be my last year doing Advents as well because, listen, I have bought a lot of yarn over the last couple of years of being on YouTube, and it's just time to use that yarn. Something kind of clicked in my head after I made these purchases. And yeah, I want to find creative ways to use the yarn I have. I'm excited. I am open to any suggestions, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to take you along with me. It's a little sneak peek into 2026. I'll see you sometime next week. Not sure when, but I'm getting all geared up for Advent around here, and I'm very excited for December. So watch for that, and until next time, my friends, be well and bye for now.